Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Blood and Plunder coverage here as we work our way to the last two here, Spanish commanders. We've got another heavy hitter today, Amaro Pargo, Rodriguez Felipe, 34-pointer. Can't remember off the top of my head, he may have gotten a discount in the recent FAQ. Somebody can double check in the comments on that. But Legendary Commander has his own custom force, the Pargos Marineros or Guardacostas. Huge 16-inch command range. Again, we're going to cover a lot of real estate on the battlefield with a 32-inch bubble there. 3 command points as well, so really top-tier stuff there. Has the brace of pistols and the standard melee weapon, so we're also good there. And then really just a giant stack of abilities, right? Inspiring, Commodore, Broadside, God's Blessing or the Devil's Luck, Felicitous, and well-equipped. So he is well-equipped with a lot of abilities, pun intended here. So let's jump in and see if all that stuff makes sense. See if he's a good character, which, you know, he is, of course. But see if, you know, for this 34-point investment here, if all this stuff makes sense as far as, like, is he going to give us a good advantage on the battlefield if we're going to invest that much in running him. So right off the bat, Inspiring, we've seen that over and over again, so it's just a great ability, right, to have. Never going to complain about having that. All friendly units within the command range, huge command range again, may reroll any failed rally tests when his unit is active. So good stuff there. So when we have that, right, the free rerolls are always gonna get us sort of more value over time, right? So as long as we're within his command range, which with that much, we can still spread out fairly far across the battlefield so that we don't have to just clump up like some of the maybe short range commanders on that. And then we can reroll any failed rally tests, right, while he's active. So we're doling out some command points and hoping then that they pass. So it's going to keep us in the fight longer, which over time, of course, should net us some benefits there. Now, Commodore and Broadside, again, combination there for being on the water. So we've seen that over and over again. When he's aboard a ship, his command range is increased by 12, which really, given his base command range, is already kind of ridiculous. So that's going to cover a ton of space on the water, right? Especially if we're running multiple ships and stuff. We've got everything covered. We can spread out. We don't have to worry about getting into bad maneuver situations, hopefully, and just do what we need to do. And Broadside, of course, is kind of like the standard want if we're on the water. So basically all our artillery can be fired simultaneously, so it's all one attack, and then that increases our chance for crits. And again, crits are what we're looking for in addition to damage when we're fighting on the water. We certainly want to damage the enemy ship and start degrading them, but crits just do so many wonderful things, right? We can set them on fire, damage their rigging, maybe blow off a mast, jam their steering, cause flooding, or a combination of those things. So the more times we can get crits, right, we're just hoping to cause all kinds of other disastrous damage. And in some cases, right, we could maybe make the enemy just that much more ineffective in fighting against us. Moving on, now we don't get this one a lot, but it is a fun one to have. So on top of his stats there, right, again, the command range, the command points, God's Blessing is a great one when we have it. So a force led by him actually has 4 fortune points instead of the normal 3. So on top of all that, we have all kinds of resources, 3 command points, 4 fortune points, huge throughout the game, right? So if we use these intelligently, right, where we have, again, access to rerolls, hand, we can update our hand of cards if we don't have the right thing. So there's all kinds of goodies with that. So, and with 4, we can maybe be a little bit more liberal when we choose to spend those too. Felicitous, we haven't really seen much of that, but basically if a force that includes this commander begins a turn with no fortune points, we immediately gain 1. So again, we can be that much more aggressive with those fortune points. If we happen to burn through those 4 over the first few turns, great. Kind of get into that mid-game point, maybe we're down to that last one, we can spend it at the right time, start the next turn, we'll get 1 back. So essentially, and we kind of just to get the most value out of it too, no point in, once we're down to that situation, there's no point in hoarding that fortune point. So ideally we use it each turn, start another turn with another fortune point. So really over the course of a game, we can get quite a few extra fortune points. And then last but not least, well equipped. So if this commander is attached to a unit with the poorly equipped special rule, it's negated, right? So basically this guy's just absolutely decked out. He's got all kinds of funds, resources, things like that. So if we, and the Spanish do have some units that are poorly equipped. So depending on where we choose to put him, right, think of the units that were available in the forces that we have. Does it make sense to put him then into a certain unit that is normally considered poorly equipped, and then we're just going to negate that and make it a normal unit? So some other interesting things to consider. So it's always fun when we get these little swaps that we can do, whether it's the force building or the characters here or a combination of that in the game, which really, again, just adds to the value of one of the neat things about Blood and Plunder is we just have so many options available to us, but then being able to just keep things fresh with little variations like this too. But if we ignore that for the moment and just summarize his other abilities, he is fantastic, right? Inspiring is great no matter where. Commodore and Broadside obviously are sort of like standard package for a commander on the water, and good stuff to have. God's Blessing is fantastic. That fourth fortune point, and then in combination with Felicitas, is just kind of bonkers, right? So really, we will have more fortune points than the opponent, unless it's like an actual mirror match. But and then yeah, with Felicitas, right, we can keep gaining those every turn. So so really, we just have more than the opponent in so many different ways. So. And then again, with that 3 command points each turn as well. So for 34 points, we're getting a hell of a lot here, guys. Let us know if you prefer running him in his own list or with the Guardacostas. Do you feel like he does equally well on land or water? Where do you prefer him? And how have your games gone? Hit us up in the comments there. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll have many more of these as we work our way through the remaining factions as well. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.